Yep.
Okay, well, I'm Brian Ladd with the Ladd Group here at Cascade Sotheby's, and I'm very delighted today. I've got Marianne Cox with Street Dog Heroes. I'm very excited to share this. Many of you know this organization, but for those of you that aren't aware, I'm really excited to share this with you. We at the Ladd Group, we try to support our local community through nonprofits, but what we're also trying to do is use some of our readership and our spread with marketing to talk about what's going on out there. And I think there's no better place to start than with Street Dog Heroes. So, Marianne,
Yay.
thanks for taking a few minutes with me today and going over this.
Of
Yeah,
course.
so you and I have spoken, and we've been talking about Street Dog Heroes for a couple years now. But I would love to hear a little bit about the origin story and where it came from and why it exists today.
Yeah, of course. So Street Dog Hero is a nonprofit that I started just over 3 years ago. It all stemmed from me just wanting to help a little Mexican street dog that I saw now 23 years ago. So 23 years ago, it was my first time in Mexico with my husband, and for 20 years, I told my husband I want to one day save just one street dog. So 3 years ago, I took the leap and started this nonprofit, not knowing what I was doing, just that I wanted to save animals or dogs. And it's become this amazing rescue that's gone beyond what I ever imagined. We save, of course, street dogs from all over the world. Mexico, we save dogs from kill shelters within the United States. We save dogs from meat markets and off the streets in Asia. We save them from Europe, Puerto Rico, the Virgin Islands. The list is endless. And India is a big one that we save dogs from. The connections I've made just kind of happened organically, which it just makes me realize how small the world is, right?
Yeah.
And how much help is needed out there. So besides just saving all these street dogs, and today we're over 1,100 dogs rescued and rehomed. And they do get rehomed all over the United States, not just in the Pacific Northwest. But we also do, after traveling to these places and learning more about street dogs, the street dogs that I saw 20 years ago was a healthy street dog. And the more I dive into it, I realize those aren't the ones that we're helping. We're helping the ones that the tourists don't see. And it's devastating, as you know, because you have a street dog yourself. Yeah. So once I dove in and got immersed more in the cultures, I realized that we need more help. So I started my own spay and neuter clinics, specifically in Mexico. We were specifically targeting like one area, and we do outreach. We go 3 to 4 times a year. We do outreach. We teach the community the importance of spay and neuter, the importance of just how to take care of your dog, little things that we take for granted. These people have no idea, like brushing, ticks, clipping nails, cleaning ears, vaccines. It's endless what they don't know what to do. And then when COVID hit, which has been a horrible thing, but a blessing for us, is we weren't able to travel to Mexico to do our spring clinic. So we turned the tables and thought, well, how can we still help? So now we are doing free clinics in Central Oregon. And we just got asked to do a clinic in Christmas Valley, which is still Central Oregon, but a little further away. So now every 2 or 3 months, we're going to be doing clinics here in Oregon as well.
So those are going to be spay and neuter and things like that?
Yep. So we did one in June in La Pine. And we had, we didn't know how it was going to turn out, if we were going to get a lot of people, or little people. And we got 160 dogs signed up within like 2 hours. So we know the need is there.
Wow.
And we're doing another one in October. We're going to be in Christmas Valley this winter.
Yeah.
So it's just cool to be able to help, because we have the volunteers and they're ready to help. So why not, of course, help in our backyard. So that's a long answer to your story, but that's kind of how it's evolved.
It's wonderful. It sounds like you've got a tiger by the tail. So this has grown, I mean, from one dog to 1,100 plus all the, the extensions of all the other spay and neuter clinics that you're doing. how do you manage this from your house here in Central Oregon?
Ugh.
You know, what does your organization look like at this point?
That's a great question. I run it all from my cell phone and my computer, and I'm literally on my computer and phone all day long. My kids have to remind me to remember I'm a mom as well.
Yeah.
My life is consumed by it, and I do love every second of it, but I can't do it all alone. So I do have one full-time employee that's helping me now, thank goodness, and I could probably use 3 more, and then I have 2 part-time employees. And all of us still talk from sun up to well past sundown. It's there's so much involved. It's a lot of work.
Well, it's amazing what you're doing off of your phone and your computer is incredible. I know there's a lot of boots on the ground as well, but
oh yes, there's lots of boots on the ground.
Yeah, it's exciting to see what you've been able to do here, and there's a lot of these stories here in Central Oregon. You know, what comes to mind right now is the Koenigs doing the Reaching Other Foundation, and they're doing amazing things all through Africa with, you know, trying to eliminate spina bifida and, you know, neural tube deficits and things like that. And you know, from our little community here of 100,000 people in the middle of nowhere, it's amazing to see not only, you know, what can we protect and help and, you know, here in Central Oregon, but, you know, not afraid to extend that all the way around the world.
Yeah,
it's pretty inspiring. So now that you have this synergy and it's going, you know, what's your definition of success for this organization? You know, there's probably never a point where there's never going to be a point where there's no street dogs left in the world. But at what point are you going to say, you know, you know, this is it. This is what I was shooting for.
Oh shoot, I don't know the answer. I mean, I tell myself and I tell people that the ultimate goal is what you said, is for there to be no more Street Dog Hero, which means we've done our job. Of course, that's going to take generations and generations. And it may not happen, but my goal is for it to happen. And by doing that, it's like you said, educating everybody, even the people, your neighbors, you know, what's going on everywhere. But I guess if I had to say something more realistic, in my lifetime, I don't even know. I think it's for me to actually see numbers drop in certain locations where I'm specifically rescuing dogs from. Like I would love to hold a clinic in the Baja in 2 years and no dogs come, because that community is now aware and taken care of and knows what to do. It has the resources to fix their dogs when something happens. And then I'll move to the next community. So it'd be cool to hit maybe 5 or 10 different areas around the world and really bring their street dog population down and educate them and their future generations of how to be the change and be different.
Well, you've probably seen that on certain levels. So I too, you know, was playing down in Sayulita in the late 90s as well. And, you know, we had a dog that we were trying to rescue at that time. We named it Choco after the Choco banana stand, the whole thing. But back at that point, there was no real resources for us to get it home. And at that point, we were talking to the locals and they were saying, yeah, what happens is about every year or two, the street dogs get to such a big population that there's a local poisoning and they're all wiped out for a while. But that's still happening? It
still happens in certain areas, yes.
But let's talk about this one specific town, you know, your influence on it, whatnot. So how is that community progressed in the last 20, 25 years?
Yes, so my very first street dog number one street dog, I personally flew home because that was my test run. And we were actually vacationing in Sayulita for spring break. And before I went down there, like I said, it was all new to me. I didn't know what I was doing, but I messaged like as many rescues in the Puerto Vallarta area that I could. And I connected with the one lady in Sayulita Animals. Her name's Sarah. And when we were down there, we met and we talked a lot. And she's like, you can do this. And so she flew me home my first street dog. But her story, which goes to you, is she moved there probably 15, 16, 17, well, probably now have been 3 years, probably 20 years ago. She moved from Switzerland to Sayulita, and there was a big street dog problem. And since she's been there, there's no really bad street dog problems in Sayulita because of her. Now when she gets dogs are from the outlying area, which is the ones we take, but she has a free spay and neuter clinic every Wednesday in Sayulita. So she's actually changed that community. So if you go now, it's much different than what you saw in the 90s. And they don't need to go around and poison the dogs to clear the streets for tourists and all that stuff. So it does happen. Oh, and I have a call coming in. Let me delete that. There you are. Yeah, so change happens. It just needs, like you said, someone to jump in, get their feet wet. It's a lot of work, and volunteers and everybody, come together, and you can make it happen. You can make it happen.
Well, huge kudos to you, because there's a lot of people like me that, will try to rescue an individual dog or whatnot. But for someone to actually, get gritty and affect over 1,000 dogs already and many more to come, I mean, that's a big leap. That's a big difference from having a soft spot for an individual dog to try to have a goal of eliminating street dogs around the world.
It's a big goal. Well, you know what, like you said, I do love Street Dog Heroes raised the awareness that when people do travel now, I get a lot of emails, probably, before COVID all the time, but hey, I'm in this area, what can I do to help? I saw this dog that got hit, what do I do? So people are reaching out and they want to help. And I'm glad that I can be that person they can call and be like, what do I do? How can I help? How can I make a difference while I'm on my vacation, which is really, really cool. Besides just feeding them food scraps because you feel sorry for them. Yeah. You can do so much more. Even if it's taken to the vet, pay $20 to get them spayed or neutered would be amazing, so.
Well, so let's do an extension of that, beyond how do they help? How do people here in Central Oregon help Street Dog Hero? How did they make a difference from their home here? How did they get involved with your organization? What's the best way to support your efforts?
Yeah, so Street Dog Hero is based, we're foster based. We have no shelter, so we always need fosters, and we need fosters in Central Oregon, Portland, and Seattle. That's where all of our dogs fly into. We always need volunteers, and for everything, transport, fundraising, events, you name it, admin, computer stuff to help us. We're backlogged. The biggest thing, of course, is donations, because we are a 501c3. We run 100% of donations, and it's what keeps us going. And lean into that is we do one annual fundraiser a year, which is a lot of work. That's all I have time for, and it's really, really needed. And it just kicks off September 1st, so today, and this is going to be recorded, but it runs from September 1st to September 19th this year, and of course it's virtual. So we have this fundraiser this year called Heroes on the Run. It's just a matter of getting everybody around the world to help our cause and raise money so we can continue to do more. So donations, volunteers, fosters. If you're flying to and from somewhere for vacation, contact us, because the only way to get our dogs from here to there or there to here is, flight angels is what we call them. So.
Well, okay, that's you have a lot of need there. So what we'll do here is we're going to post this on Facebook and all of our different social media accounts. We'll make sure we have links to Heroes on the Run, to your website.
Thank you.
But hey, thank you. I appreciate your time today. More importantly, I appreciate what you do. It's organizations like this that make me proud to live here in Bend.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Lad Group, as well.
Oh, you're welcome. It's the least we can do to support this community that we make a living in. So, well, thank you for your time, and we'll put all the links to everything we discussed here today. And anyone listening, try to support this local amazing organization in any way you can, even if it's just tech support. It sounds like there's plenty of ways to help.
All right, thank you. All right,
thank you, Marianne. Take care.
Bye, Brian.
Bye.